Hello there, guys, and what is up? Real Diversity here. We are normally do things like gaming and other things of that nature, like anime reviews and things like that. But there is a lot of other things we can branch into, and here's one of those videos. So, by the title, you obviously know. Here are some pro tips for studying for an exam. So basically, I am in college, senior college. So I have kind of, gone through my fair share of classes and things like that. So I've kind of learned a general overhaul way to, just basically prepare for almost any exam. And like, even you can use this for quizzes as well and anything like that. So like practicals or something like that. So basically any, like just general pro tips to help you study really. And it's like two things we're going to talk about in this video. So first, two overall topics. So first, will be kind of like the schedule and system you should study, and then also the type of studying you should be doing to appear like that. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your study schedule, which is pretty self-explanatory, which is the time you're going to study and things like that. So first, you want to do, if you don't do this, so say you have a class, and before the next class, then before you have that class again, you at least study once. Now that's something I feel like that's a common thing, and I feel like that is something most people should try to aim for. But obviously, that's kind of really not for everyone, especially with time wise and management. So here is my alternative and thing I suggest most people should do is 7 days before the exam, practical, quiz, or whatever. You should start studying 7 days before. Now let me explain why, and let me explain what I mean. You don't necessarily have to start studying on day one, hardcore everything. You don't even have to glance. If you don't want to, you don't have to look at everything on first day or first 4 days. In fact, actually, or even you don't even have to spend. You don't even have to go over everything. You don't have to spend like 2-3 hours or anything like that. Just the first 4 days. Only thing you should do is whatever time you have. If you only got 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever you got, you just use whatever time you can find. In those first 4 days, each day, whatever time you can find, take that time to just scheme over your notes. You don't even have to really deep thought into about it. Don't really have to break it down. Just scheme over them, look at them. Yeah, it may help to understand them or things like that. If you see something like, oh, this doesn't make sense at all, yeah, you can stop there and just maybe you study it a little harder or things like that. But the first 4 days, you do not have to completely break everything down. Just skim over it. Just skim over the same thing. And I guarantee you, by the fourth day, and if you do actually happen to look over everything just really quickly, within like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, you should be able to almost recall by the fourth day what's going to be on the next page before you even get there. You should be like, oh, I'm on chapter 3, and I know in chapter 4 we talk about lightning or something like that. So you're going to basically even know what's coming next in terms of material. So once you do that, by the next 3 days before the exam or 2 days, then you do deep study. And by this point in your time, you have already reviewed your material 4 days in a row, so you almost are you're very comfortable with it at that point. Even if you maybe still stuck on certain things, but for the most part, small stuff or very general stuff, you got it. I promise you're gonna have it by that point. Just no matter really what after 4 days. So by that third day or fifth day, then you can start deep studying. And we're gonna talk about how to deep study. But first, I think, is that everything we want to say for schedule? Yeah. So yeah, by the fifth day, that's when you really want to start to break it down, and whatever you're lacking and don't understand, that's what you really want to start attacking that. That's what you really want to get the general picture and everything you need to know for your notes. That's when you just want to put everything kind of together at that point. If there's anything you still kind of don't feel comfortable with or things like that, or even if you feel comfortable with everything at this point, just really deep study and just really make sure you hammer it in. By this point, if it's not that hard of material, then you should pretty much have a really good grasp. And this way, doing this really takes a lot of pressure off of the student and things like that. You don't have to You don't have to worry about cramming the night before or the 2 nights before and things like that. This way, you really feel comfortable with the material and you're not going to be stressed. So that's all I really say about that. And that should be very helpful for a lot of people in general. So what we're going to talk about now is how to study. So basically what I mean here is how you want to study and approach your study methods. So back to the schedule thing, you really don't need to do this the first 4 days unless you really want to, but by the 5th day, you should be doing this. And what I mean is you really okay, so first you want to be comfortable. You want to be you don't want to be like in your bed comfortable, and you don't want to be like in a dark alleyway. I might get robbed uncomfortable. You just want to be in a place that you feel comfortable in, but not too comfortable that you may get distracted just by the simple comfort. As like in laying in your bed, you may simply fall asleep or just feel the need to do other things, because that's where you also do other things like watch TV or things like that. So you want to be comfortable, but not in a place that may distract you, like I said earlier. And by you have to eliminate distractions. So, or whatever is a distraction for you. So a lot of people can study in their living room and they have like kids running around, dogs barking, and just a lot of stuff going around, and they can study perfectly fine in those environments. So some people can, some people can't. Some people need to go to libraries. Some people just need to go to a very quiet room or things like that. So whatever your comfortable place is, go there. And also, so that eliminates some distractions, but not all. So another distraction is yourself and the things you possess. So such as your phone and maybe even um your laptop or things like that. So you really want to like, and here's a tip I suggest you do with your phone. If not, put it somewhere. So say you're sitting at a desk or something like that. Put your phone somewhere like that's hard to reach, like inside of your backpack, something that you really have to dig. If you want it, you got to go find it. So that moment you're like, oh, I want to go check my emails or something like that. You stop yourself. Oh, I want to go check TikTok. Let me go stop. You stop yourself because you have to put effort into actually going to get your phone. So you don't want it just right there in front of your face where you can just grab it, pick it up, and become distracted. You want to put it somewhere where you can stop yourself from going to get it. If like, oh, it's in my backpack, I'm not gonna worry about stopping my studying just to go pick it up. Or another thing you can do besides hiding it is putting a timer on it. So however much you want, much time you want to study. So say you're finna deep study and you want to do it for like 2 hours. Set a timer on your phone, or even do this. You can spend a certain amount of time on like a chapter. So say you're studying like 4 chapters that's gonna be on a test, and you can put 30 minutes per chapter, and you can set timers on your phone or just a general time you want to finish on your phone. And that way, your phone has its own task, so you won't feel the need to touch it or bother it because it's keeping up a timer for you. So you won't need to feel the need to touch that. And it kind of makes you look. You decide to look at it, whatever. You see the timer, and it makes you like, oh yeah, let me finish. Let me try to knock the rest of this chapter out while in the 30 minutes I have left, or so. So it kind of helps you stay focused. So just remove distractions for sure, by any means. And so just try to leave unless you really need that stuff like laptops. I know some people take notes on laptops or things like that, but if you don't, just try to keep that stuff out of your way, just from just getting distracted. So once you eliminate distractions, you just want to basically ease your way into it. So this is another reason why I said to study at least 4 days prior, or just glance over your stuff. This way, if you're very comfortable with the material, it will be a lot easier to just get into this easy rhythm flow of studying in this deep thought, deep concentration. It's really easy to fall into that state if you're really comfortable with material and you're not really having to like basically teachers. If you like cram the night before, you basically have to teach yourself fully everything. This way you're not having to really in-depth teach yourself, and you have basically it's just a lot easier to just glance at what you're looking at, and you can just basically be like, okay, yeah, I know this and I'm very comfortable with this. and while you're just glancing over and looking, studying, you can easily fall into high concentration study. So that's another reason why I say to do study a few days prior for sure. And also, when you have no distractions and you don't feel like picking up your phone, you will be able to knock out a lot in a short amount of time. So and by that point, like I said, once you're reviewed it 4 days, even just really fast, it would just really be able to stick those last 2-3 days of deep study. So it will really be solidified after that. Is there anything else I want to mention about when you're actually studying? Oh yeah, let me get into it. So there's also some people can't just obviously sit down and stare at like a notepad or something like that. You basically have to. Sometimes some people need visuals, uh, or they just need to rewrite their notes and things like that. So a thing think helps a lot is writing on a whiteboard or something like that. So basically, you will have your notes and then a whiteboard, and you're pretty much copying general overviews of your notes. So an easy way, that's an easy way to kind of really lock it in your brain, and really for you to really kind of obtain the information is by not look. So have you when you're gonna write on the whiteboard, have your notes behind you so that you cannot turn around to look at them. So you're gonna be like, okay, I know. Let me write this fact down about my notes. So you go to the whiteboard. You have to force yourself almost to remember the note so that you don't have to go back to your notepad to write it again. So you're trying to memorize it just for a short amount of time, and by doing that, that helps you memorize it for testing things like that, as well as you writing it down as another reinforcement for you to remember it. So those are just two ways, and then plus, after you finish writing it, you're probably gonna triple check it and make sure you did it right. So that's another reinforcement there. So it's just a lot of checks you can kind of reinforce when you are looking at whiteboards and things like that, or working on whiteboards, things like that. Also, sometimes copying your notes is okay, but a lot of times, if you are just like copying your notes and you're copying notes and you have your notes in front of you, you basically kind of just go back and forth, and a lot of times that really doesn't help you really get it down, because so a lot of times if you're like, oh wait, you're just copying notes or something like that, and you're like, wait, what was that word, and you just kind of glance back at, oh yeah, that's that word, and you finish copying your notes or something like that, and it's kind of, you don't gain it, it doesn't stick as much as say like going to write on like a whiteboard or things like that. Or if you want to like copy your notes, at least don't leave your notes that you're copying in front of you. So try to like copy a page if you can, without like looking back at that page. So that might help a little bit. So that, yeah, I think in terms of deep study, that should be good. Is there anything else I'm missing for deep study? So yes, you also want to make sure, a lot of times this isn't a lot of people do different things that help them. So just know what helps you. Things such as like flashcards, sticky notes, and things like that. So just kind of find what helps you the most, and just kind of incorporate what I've talked about into that. You don't necessarily have to do exactly what I said. So like if you make flashcards or something like that, make flashcards on day one of your 7 days before the exam, and then just kind of review your flashcards maybe the first 4 days really quickly, and then by like the last five, the fifth to sixth day or so, you can, you basically maybe go back into your actual notes and things like that. So just kind of incorporate your own methods into it, as well as knowing that you will only be able to do this stuff if you really want to. So you have to really motivate yourself if you want to stick to this, and you want to, it really makes it a lot easier on you. When you do these tips I gave you, it really, really makes it a lot easier. But you have to really want to do it. It's not always easy for 7 days in a row, especially you may feel comfortable by the third day of just scheming over your notes to skip maybe the fourth day. But if you do that, it just hurts you slightly. So just kind of really motivate yourself as you go along with doing these tips and things. And like I said, incorporate what you already do into them. Don't like follow my cookie cut. If I can get my words out, my cookie cutter method if it really does not help you personally. So just do what you feel best. Just add what you feel best will help you and things like this. So you don't necessarily have to write on the whiteboard if you like to. Maybe make freaking drawings or illustrations, or you may even like to make an essay about your notes or something like that. I don't know, just something I can think of off the top of my head. But it may be different things people do that helps them. So just, incorporate what I said already into that. And I think these tips will really help you. They're very simple. I didn't try to make this very complicated where most people wouldn't be like immediately turned off and be like, I don't really think I want to write my notes 10 times a day, it's something like that. So I tried to make these as very general as possible, and I really hope that you did find something that you can use and help you in this video. And if you did, please don't be afraid to hit that like button if you could, and be so kind. But mainly, if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, you can, but we really mostly do gaming and things like that. So it's very rare that we do pull out things like study guide tips and things like that. So it's totally up to you. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, really. And if you did, leave a comment and just saying what you got from the video, and maybe something that you feel that I can add to in the next video if I do happen to make another one. Something you do that you feel really helps. So just like I said, leave a comment, leave a like if you feel, very kindly. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it helps, and I hope you have a good day, and I hope you do well on that exam. And real diversity, we are out. Peace.